Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, China is to do debt-to-equity swaps to rescue some zombie SOEs. Firstly, remember today is a public holiday on Wall Street, so data flows will be thin. Japan is on holiday too. China says it will ease rules for overseas investors in a bid to boost its slowing economy, but foreign firms operating in China say the changes may not go far enough. And China's announced a new rescue process for highly leveraged SOEs and their banks. They're about to do wholesale debt-to-equity swaps, a process to be administered by a new bad bank, bad loan authority in Beijing. This will certainly help their banks, but if they're serious about earning a return on their capital, it's just a bookkeeping exercise to keep struggling firms alive. If they are not serious about earning a return on their SOEs, it is just corporate welfare. Without shutdowns, it is more of the Chinese equivalent of can kicking. Speaking of can kicking, the EU allowed a special advantage for Deutsche Bank when it was subject to stress testing in July. It seems they were allowed to assume their 2015 deal with a Chinese firm was completed. It wasn't, and it still isn't. It would have passed either way, but fudging like this undermines the whole process. In Australia, Moody's is drawing attention to the risk to their property markets. They cite high office vacancy rates in Perth and Brisbane and growing settlement risks from an oversupply of new apartments in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. And that's a risk to the banks that have funded these developments. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is unchanged at 1.72%. The US benchmark oil price is a little higher today, now just over $51 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is now just over $53 a barrel. Russia has said it will join OPEC if it decides to cap output to force a price rise. The gold price is higher as well, up $4 an ounce, $1,257 an ounce. New Zealand dollar is lower against the US dollar from this time yesterday, is at 71.3 US cents, and on the cross rate is a lot lower against the Aussie at just 93.7 Aussie cents, which is its weakest level in 60 days, and it's at 64 euro cents. New Zealand TWI is now at 75. And the Chinese are letting their currency slide again. It is now at a 6-year low against the US dollar. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.